this gaming chair was this lady's son's gaming chair, and he must have been sexually frustrated because the foam of the armrest is all picked off, like, you know how that's like a thing, like when people tear a label off of a beer, beer bottle.
I do that.
Didn't I read somewhere that's supposed, like, you're sexually frustrated or something? Because I would do that too. And it makes sense that we both are, but couple of hornballs.
I think it's a sensory thing. It's like some form of like a tick, I think. But I forget the actual term for it. It's where you're trying to like calm your brain down, but unintentionally type of thing.
But I don't even know. I mean, what is sexual frustration?
Are you frustrated by that you're not getting any, or that what you're getting sucks?
I don't know. I mean, well, it shouldn't be a comment on what I'm getting because it's just me, and I definitely make sure I release often enough.
I need to have a conversation with myself. I am frustrated at you.
Listen, you need better lotion.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Oh, my God. It's funny.
No.
It is weird, though. I don't know. I always wonder when we start these, how are we going to start? And then it's almost always about cum.
Or poop.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Butts. I mean, the last one started with you like, I got a butt or whatever. It's like, okay. So it's good. And of course we don't have to jump to the movie, but since I just watched it, like, fucking A. Right?
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, it's, you know what it is? It's like, I can't see there being a movie like that that's better. I mean, Host is really good too, but I haven't seen it in a while, but man, like, and Unfriended is mean to these kids,
I had the same thought watching this as I did watching Prom Night. I went, damn, kids are fucking evil.
Yeah, I wasn't like that in high school, but even some of the things I can think of that were like regrets that I did something mean to somebody. Like, I never like stole $800. I never like passed around a rumor that somebody who had an eating disorder. Were you like that at all? Did you get shitty with people?
I do remember in middle school, we had this group of friends. We were super, super close. We were the kids that wore, the flannel shirts around our waist and listened to Nirvana and wore black eyeliner. And we kicked one of the girls out of our group. So we just kind of ignored her. And she was just like, what did I do? And we're just like, we don't like her anymore. So we like bullied her out of our little group. It was really shitty. I will never forget that. And it was really, really shitty thing to do because she didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Because that happens in this is where Laura and what's the other girl's name?
The main girl, Blair. It's like we drifted apart.
Yeah, they were friends when they were younger. But that happens a lot too in school. And that happened to me with a few of my friends is when we were in elementary school, we were super best friends. But then when we got older, we just went different ways. Like I had friends that became the preppy kids or like the jock kids, and we just never talked anymore.
Yeah, I did that too. And, my daughter going through like friend breakups or whatever you want to say, where it's not just drifting apart, but it's like, we are not friends anymore. And it's happened twice to her. The first time I told her, it was right before she entered 7th or 8th grade or something. But I was like, around your age, 6th, 7th grade is when I kind of stopped talking to my elementary school friends. And then I made friends then who I'm still friends with. And they're the friends I have had for 30 years or whatever. So, I think there's a point you reach where you're like, okay, these people are cool. And I think she's generally doing that. This newer friend situation she had, I don't know. I mean, there are definitely mistakes were made on both parts, but part of me thinks it's this other kid was going through some shit because they are more than my kid, so. But I also think it's like that this other kid is going through some stuff, but did not appreciate that, hey, guess what? Everybody's going through stuff. And you don't ever really know what someone's going through and you don't, and everybody's going through something different, so.
That happens in the movie too. I mean, doesn't Blair kind of hint on that Laura's uncle was molesting her? So she's going through some shit.
And and then when it comes out that Jessica was passed around rumors about Blair having an eating disorder, someone says like that's not completely untrue. Like maybe she maybe had some issues, So, and then the way they talk about that Adam guy, like, well, he's drunk right now. Like it seems like he had a drinking problem, So, and was obviously uptight about having rich parents. So,
he was one of those kids.
He seems like it, right? And he had a fucking gun in his room.
When he pointed it at the screen, I went, and then they gave him shit for it. They're like, you think you're going to shoot him through the screen? Like, why are you pointing at the screen? That would be something I would do.
Unfriended was made 11 years ago, 2014, and already we were at the point where we were way too much online, and not just online too much, but putting too much of ourselves online, which obviously is even more happening now. But
it's quadrupled now,
dude.
I mean,
every once in a while I'll post something I cook because I think it looks good. I do that sometimes, but like there's people who post every fucking meal, every day.
Meal.
Yeah,
there's some streamers that they document their entire life, from when they wake up, and that's how they live. That's how they make their money. I mean, more power to them, I guess. I could not record what I do all day long from the moment I wake up. I mean, I did it for a reality show, but that was a whole different situation.
What, when you were on Top Model, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, we got filmed from the moment we woke up to the moment we went to bed.
I suppose. But also, that wasn't you just with a camera being like, hey, everybody, now I'm going to the bathroom or whatever. You had like, that was like a show. There's like a crew, right?
Yeah. It's a lot different.
What year were you on that?
We recorded in 2003.
Okay. Because in 2007, there was a writer's strike, which, there was already reality TV, obviously, like that show. But like in 2007, when there was a writer's strike for TV, and they had to stop making, written shows, reality TV kind of took it up a notch then.
I wonder, though, because our show had writers. I found out. So I wonder if they strike too, because they had to look at all the footage and find a story arc for every person.
Right.
And then they would talk to the producers about that. And then they would talk to the cameramen about that. And so then they would ask certain questions to try to continue the story.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing about quote-unquote reality shows is that they're more fabricated than fiction sometimes. I mean, was it weird for you to, like, see it and, like, kind of see your actual real life get turned into, like, a storyline as a character?
Mm-hmm. It made me laugh a lot, actually, because I didn't know. Because you don't know what they're going to show.
Right.
You don't, since you're filming all day long. Yeah, it was interesting to see what they would pick. And especially that every time I was on screen, they had the dorky music playing.
Really?
I had soundtrack.
What was the door? What kind of music do you remember?
It was just like.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so was that like when it started? What after that? But after they you kind of got the made over and all that stuff, did they still use the dorky music?
I don't think they did. I think it just started like when you meet me for the first time, and I'm waiting for the bus that picked us all up. We were like maybe 3 blocks away from each other waiting for this bus to pick us up. And that episode when Shandy's still from Kansas City, Missouri. I'm walking. I was like, what is this? What is this? Why do I have this music?
That is so crazy. Like
holes.
like tuba. Was there tuba in it? I want to find this song now. I'll definitely use it against you. But yeah, it's crazy. So did they ever ask you to like if you said something funny or interesting, did they ever ask you to like repeat a line because they didn't catch it or something? God, that's so fucking weird.
And it made me irate.
That they did that?
I don't even remember what I just said, it's not authentic anymore. It would piss me off.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
And I think the more tired I got, the longer that I was competing, the more it would piss me off.
I can see that because, I mean, you're talking about the longer the show went on and you were still there because you were on it right up to the end that year and it's a competition. Mm-hmm. So people drop off, right? So you're still there. So I can see being more frustrated because it's like, yo, you should know to keep following me now. I'm still on the show. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, there's not 13 of us anymore. Now there's
Right.
only like 4. So what do you mean you didn't just get that?
yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, every once in a while, yeah, it would be the same thing too. And even when I like would have friends shooting behind the scenes stuff or whatever, it's like, can you say that again? It's like, no. Because like you said, the moment is gone. And, you know, I guess in a way, that's why we, even today, you and I were like, oh, let's not say anything yet until we start recording. You know? So
We know better.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. And but everything has fabrication to it, you know? I mean, hey, when I edit, I'll never like take one of your laughs, for example, and put it as a response to something else. You know what I mean? Like if I say something stupid and you don't laugh, I don't fake it. You know what I mean?
That'd be really funny. If
It'd
you
be
did
really
that.
funny. Maybe I should sometime. But oh my god, that'd be great. But you know, stuff like that. But sometimes we'll be talking about a scene, and then like 45 minutes later, we'll talk about the scene again for whatever reason, right? So what I'll do sometimes is take that and take the other part and mush them together, find a way to make it sound like we were all talking about it all at the same time. You know?
Yeah, because we forget. Because we forget.
Well, and also,
Wait, did we
it's
talk
like for
about
the
that?
listener, I want it to be more of a smooth, you know, so it doesn't get confusing. Because the way you and I talk sometimes is confusing. So make it less confusing, whatever. But it's also because we
to us.
it's because we know each other, you know, and so it's like, hey, we kind of just roll with it. But like somebody listening doesn't know us, you know, as well. So
Yeah, but that's their fault.
you think you know, but you have no idea. This is Earnful of Popcorn, and I'm Timmy Williams. That's it. That's all I got.
I'm Shandy. What's up?
What's up? We are not on Skype right now, but this month it's May 2025, and we wanted to do high school movies. So last time we did Prom Night, and this week we're doing 2014's Unfriended, directed by Levon Gabriadze. A found footage movie, sort of, but it's what you call a screenlife movie, which means the whole thing is just on a screen. Almost all of it. There's a very short
Almost.
bit at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we will, because it's
I have something to say about that.
I bet you do. Mostly on Skype, and it's all from this one girl's point of view. And it kind of turns out you're in her eyes, you know? It's not like you're sitting next to her looking at her screen. It's like you are in her face, right?
You are her going through this whole thing, which
Yeah.
was really cool.
That is a better way to say it than the fucking Silence of the Lambs shit I just said. Like, you're in her face, Clarice.
Your eyes are her eyes.
Yeah. Good God, what a way to start a movie like this. The first thing you see is the screen turns on and they open up a YouTube video of this girl is about to kill herself, this girl Laura. And like you see, it's kind of not super clear, but she's off in a distance at a park or something. And they're like, oh my God, what's she doing? What's she doing? And then she like points a gun at her face, right? Oh, it's so fucking creepy, right?
Well, I mean, it just made me think of, you know, when the internet first started, we got really obsessed with doing the dark web stuff and looking at videos of like people's like heads being chopped off and shit like that. But oh my God, it's so fucking creepy just seeing somebody kill themselves. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the video of that politician guy standing at the podium? I forget what year it was.
Oh, the old Bud Dwyer?
Where, yeah, he like shoots himself in the head and just like you see all the fucking blood coming out of
It's
his
like
fucking-
late
It's
70s, that one?
terrifying.
A famous one,
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Well, remember the very first episode of this, I talked about how true life stuff I find more scary than like your average horror movie concept. And and actually the day we're recording this, May 18th, 2025, yesterday, some fucking sailboat crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. And I told my brothers, I'm like, I'm not going to watch the video, but later I'm going to watch a movie where a guy puts a blender to his face. But you can't watch real shit.
Well,
it's freaky.
I don't know if you know, but there was some live streamer that got unalived during her live stream.
When?
Somebody murdered her.
Like, really?
This was like this past week.
What? Oh my!
So somebody's
fucking
definitely
God.
got footage of that.
Ugh, Jesus Christ, man.
Terrifying.
Huh?
Terrifying, because then I was like watching this, and I don't normally jump watching horror movies. I jumped 4 different times watching this.
I agree. This was really scary. Mm-hmm. And I started watching on TV. Then I'm like, wait a minute. I think it was your idea to do video for this. I'm like, well, I need to look into that. So why don't I look into that and watch the movie on the computer? Because it'll be kind of cooler anyway, since it takes place on a computer. I don't know. I guess it's a good idea, but I was so much more fucking terrified the whole time. I had like
if a notification came up.
Yeah. Well, even just after I was done and like when I was opening this and stuff and some notey came up from you, I was like, Jesus fuck Christ. I had a physical reaction like pit in my stomach, which I didn't always have. Mm-hmm. You said it made you jump more. So what do you think did that for you?
There wasn't any music. There was just... It's basically just this, like what we're doing right now. Just doing normal stuff and then slowly watching these people unravel and start to get pitted against one another.
Yeah.
And then just all the ghost stuff, because ghosts freak me out anyways in real life. So, I mean, music does happen, but when it was used was just perfect. It was perfect when it was used, but not having any music, which I didn't even notice until maybe 15 minutes in.
Yeah, there's no score.
No.
There is music a few different times for just a little bit. It's what you would call diegetic music, which means it's music in the world of the movie that the characters can hear. And in this case, this girl, when she's getting her laptop going, listens to music a few times. And yeah, and then it gets used for some really scary shit. That concept of her iTunes open. Oh my God, some really fucked up shit happens. But yeah, so the first shot is this video of this girl killed herself named Laura, which me being a Twin Peaks fan, everybody watch a movie where a girl named Laura dies, everybody's screaming her name. I'm like, oh God, it is happening again. Also a Twin Peaks line. But so she watches that video, and obviously it ends with like, the person freaks out, whoever's holding the camera turns away, you hear a gunshot. Really, really, it just is very visceral and felt very real, and so it's such a creepy, scary way to start a movie.
That and because of school shootings and all of that, just in the back of my mind.
Right.
But then you realize that it's the anniversary of that girl's suicide. That's why she's looking at that video, or why it's probably circulating again and like people are watching it again.
Yeah, and again, so was prom night.
Yep, anniversary.
And in this movie, so yeah, she watched the suicide video, then she turns on this video that's called like Laura, whatever, kill yourself, and it's this Laura girl being drunk and crazy at a party, and you assume it's going to be embarrassing, but then the screen gets a call in from I wrote down everybody's names and I don't Mitch.
Mitchie,
by Mitchie, because it's her boyfriend, so she has him labeled as Mitchie. So then she pauses this video, and we end up seeing more of it later, of course, and starts talking to Mitchie. And one of the first things they do is talk about, I want to lose my virginity to you on prom night. And I was like, what the fuck? How do we always do this? Like, it happens a lot.
I've never heard of this movie. I didn't know.
All I remembered was Blender, and that I liked it. But yeah, what the fuck, man? And it's weird because your original idea was prom, and then for both of these, and I was like, well, let's do high school, because we haven't watched something new in a while, and Unfriended is cool. So, but yeah, then it's okay. Well, the first fucking thing they talk about is prom, and then they start trying to have like a video sexy time, and then their friends come in, and then the movie takes off, and basically the whole movie is these kids having a video chat. And there's 5 of them to start with, and there's 6 kids. And then there's always this mystery account with no picture or video. And it kind of starts harassing them because it turns out to be the ghost of the girl that killed herself. And she holds them all responsible. That's kind of the elevator pitch of the whole movie, right? So there you go.
And you know what I just realized is that there's foreshadowing when the 2 of them are kind of sexing videoing with each other. And he brings out the knife.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, I like that. I like it when what did she say when you're, I like it when you're violent.
Yeah, when you're violent. Okay.
And she's like getting off on that they show, that's their true colors.
Yeah.
That's how fucking shitty these people are.
Yeah, they're weird.
It's fine being weird. Like, if that's your thing. I know we
Oh,
talk
right.
about kinks
Yeah.
all the time. No kink shaming, but just for the
Right,
sake of
but,
this
like-
movie and these characters. That's what I mean.
Yeah, because they all end up being really shitty kids. And, it's like you said, kids are so mean, and it is true, and it is real that kids are mean. But, like, once we find out more about what these kids have done to each other behind each other's backs, it's like, whoa, I mean, I know people do shit like that, but all these kids, at least the ones that are still alive at that point, have done some nasty shit to each other, But now that you mentioned the foreshadowing with the knife, they also foreshadow the blender. They foreshadow the gun. Yeah. And how does the blonde girl die?
Curling iron in her mouth. She said, shut the fuck up, because she was telling rumors.
Oh, the curling iron in her mouth. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Her meme after she dies what made me laugh.
Oh my God. She finally STFU. It's like, holy fuck. And they do a good job. And I don't know if they have to pay for the license, for example, Skype or Facebook or whatever, YouTube, but they have all the real brands in it. And then they even, with the meme, like when some of these kids die, the ghosts like post memes basically, and they use the impact font, which is what you're supposed to do for memes.
So good.
And so it's all very realistic. And for those brands, I mean, obviously for impact font, who cares? But like all those websites, I mean, I wonder if they had to get permission, because it's like, you gotta do that kind of stuff.
I don't know, but
When you were on the show, did they make you like not wear, like they would pick out outfits sometimes, right? So you weren't wearing anything branded, stuff like
can't
that?
have anything branded. Drinks, the things had to be covered up. So if you had like a Coke or something, you had to cover it. Couldn't listen to music. You had to have headphones on.
Right.
Yeah, just
Because they couldn't pay for the song. Yeah.
and couldn't pay for any of the advertising either.
Right. We don't want your music to overpower our goofy fucking dumb tuba music we're going to play for you.
Well, also Tyra's album was coming out. Like we were in her music video for her single.
Really?
Yeah, we
Oh
shot
my
that on the
God.
show. Shake your body, move your body.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to check that out. That's funny. But yeah, so these kids start talking to each other, and then they start getting these messages from this account. First, she gets it on Facebook from this girl Laura's profile.
Scary.
And I have a question for you. Throughout the movie, this being, whatever it is, ghost, is messaging them through Facebook and is in the Skype with them, but there's no video and it's not talking. It just sends messages. So when you read the messages while you're watching it, did you give it a voice? Mm-hmm. What did you give it? What kind of voice?
It was just kind of like me.
Yeah, that's kind of how you read it.
It also reminded me of the guy from Saw on the little bike.
Yes.
Let's play a game.
Right, because the voice says that, let's play a game, because it's digging up all the dirt on these people and then kind of blaming them for suicide. I wrote down Saw plus prom night, and I was going to write something else down, but I didn't. But so the voice, I'm so stupid. The voice that I started hearing when this thing was messaging them was just Roger Jackson from Scream. Again, just like I talked about last week, like, hi, Blair, do you remember me? What are you doing, Blair? But yeah, and then I was like, okay, hold on. I'm like, keep doing that. And I'm like, well, this is stupid because this ghost is of a teenage girl, so it's not going to sound like this Scream guy. Also, what I thought about is like, what's even creepier is to remember while watching this, it is not a voice. It is just type. That's all it is. And Facebook posts, and then it ends up having some other control over the websites they're looking at and stuff, but like, it gets weirder and weirder as the night goes on, but it's just text. And that's to not have any other characteristics that is so creepy.
Timmy, let me see your hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts typing this shit, and the 5-6 kids are like, everybody put your hands up, because they think one of them is fucking with everybody. And they're not. So
shit's-
I'm not fucking with you. What would I do? I'm not even sending us messages, although I guess I could start doing that.
I would freak out.
Once you had the idea of we do a video chat and record it, I was going to tell my daughter to like make a fake account without a picture and start messaging us stuff like, I know what you did.
I would
That
probably
would have been amazing.
punch my computer or throw it out the
no.
window.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's a good idea, though, right? It would have been good. But, like, you would be super... You'd be pissed at me for a while, probably. And then be like, okay, that was good.
I would be surprised if she was like, I'm not going to do it. And then she does it.
Right. Because, oh, yeah. And then get both of us that way. I'm so jumpy, you know? And I think it's anxiety. It's maybe age. I don't know. I'm much jumpier than I used to be. So, you know, the idea of this is, well, it's bullying and also probably well, there was cyberbullying too. They were posting videos, and someone made an account called Laura Kill Yourself or something like that. And so they were, and it wasn't just these kids, but other kids too, but that kind of seems like they're the main perpetrators. But like, it's really fucked the way they bullied this girl, you know?
It is really, really bad because they also had all these fake accounts too that they were making comments on, like,
yeah,
you suck, kill yourself, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the fact that like this shit happens in real life, like little kids, like 8-9-year-old kids getting bullied online by their peers and sometimes adults.
Yeah.
And they end up fucking killing themselves.
Yeah.
That's why this is scary.
Yeah, but that's one thing that makes it so scary is also then watching their conversation. It feels like, and like I said, I watched it on a computer for most of the movie, and like, I don't know if that was a good idea or not. We'll see how I sleep tonight. But like, it made it so much more realistic, and like, you're just watching these kids, and the actors do a great job at being stupid fucking teenagers. I think when it starts, like just between the boy and the girl, or Mitch and Blair, and they're kind of alone and having kind of sexy talk, and he's trying to get her to strip for him and stuff. The way he's talking then seemed a little unrealistic to like TV teen, too much Joss Whedon-y. But then as it gets going, it felt really realistic the way they were talking to each other, you know? And the first thing I noticed too is, you know, when the movie starts, they show these awful videos, and then when he calls her on the video, she turns on her video, so you see Blair's face for a little bit when the video comes up, and it's like, oh, you know what? They probably cast actors. They wanted people that could act, but they also needed actors with pretty eyes, because she has very nice eyes, because that's all you're going to really see most of the movie, you know? Is their nice face. And obviously, if they're acting, their teens probably being pushed by their parents to get into acting or whatever, they're probably all going to be good looking, but just like very nice eyes, because you're going to have to care about these people, and that's all you're going to get.
And
really,
they all gave off very cliquey vibes too. Like they all were like the preppy jock kind of kids, and then they had the one friend that's like Ken. Is that Ken? There's always the funny guy that's in the group. Reminded me of Slick a little bit from Prom Night.
From Prom Night. Because he also seemed like he was probably, by the time The Spirit Makes them play Never Have I Ever, which pulls out all the horrible secrets of horrible things all these kids have done to each other, Ken's already dead by that point. And I thought, like, you know what? I bet Ken wouldn't have any secrets.
No, and he was like smoking the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
He was on screen.
Some of the things about these kids too, it's like, well, first of all, on your point, yeah, I totally agree. And I even thought at one point, like, you know what? It's like in some ways a very traditional slasher movie or horror movie setup, because like it's the same roles. You got the funny stoner guy, you got the jockey dude, which would be Adam. You got like the more empathetic but handsome, well-meaning, well-rounded boyfriend, you know, with Mitch. You got like the bitchy girl, the slutty girl, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Perfect Blair, and they keep even saying
Perfect
that.
Blair, who is a virgin, we think, for most of it, until it's revealed that she's not, you know, like, oh my God. Yeah.
I had a feeling. I went, if this person's going to put all their skeletons from the closet on screen for all of them to see, that girl's not a virgin. I know
right,
that.
because they make it, that's the first thing you hear them talking about, really, is her being a virgin and wanting to fuck her boyfriend on prom night. So it's like, yeah. And I don't know, just the way watching it, feeling like you're just in on this conversation. Like when they start revealing the horrible things they did to each other, I was like, Adam, what the fuck, man? You know? It's like, okay, this is 10 years ago and they can't hear me. So,
well, and them just going, they didn't just have, it was just the one time. We were drunk, and then Blair goes, it only lasted a second. I was like, damn,
yeah,
come on. And then
he just blew up his whole spot.
I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, what the fuck, Blair? But then,
I didn't catch that he said that. That's funny.
But I'm very big about, like, if you fuck up, it's like, I cheated on my boyfriend on reality television. It was.
Yeah, you got caught on fucking TV.
It's on television now, somewhere. Someone's watching it.
Probably right now, yeah.
If I would have been like, no, I didn't do anything. Like, hello. It's always going to come out.
Yeah, right. And you immediately owned up to it, or
Yeah,
I mean,
you take
basically?
responsibility. Yeah. You may not like the consequence, but take responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, it was on fucking TV. And, and it was all, and for you, it was just a stupid moment of bad judgment.
I was drunk.
But, yeah. But yeah, it's good that you owned up to it. And yeah, I mean, there's no other way around it. And think about it. Like, if I Google you, like, what I find is people who love you in different websites, social media. Like, you still have people out there who think you're great and think you're one of the best people from the whole show for however long it was on and all that stuff. So if you had fucking denied it, like, no one would like you.
Nope.
Everyone would fucking hate you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You gotta just wash your hands, gotta come clean, that kind of thing.
Because that's what, you're so good at segueing into shit. Because Blair's looking on the Reddit like feed about ghosts and taking over your body and things like that. And one of the things is like, how do I get rid of this entity, I guess, is like you have to confess and like just own up to what you fucking did. Stop lying.
Yeah. Or it'll make you kill yourself.
Oh my God.
So her boyfriend sends her that link when she starts being like, I'm getting these messages. And he's like, well, what? It's the anniversary of her death. It might mean something. Then he sends her this link. Then that website keeps popping up when she's doing other things. Did you notice that? Even when she searches for other things, that one's always at the top when she searches for stuff. And it's like, okay, so was the ghost doing this? Because she does fess up at the end, and I don't think she makes it, right? Because the last shot, you're not sure, but I doubt she makes it.
I think sometimes she was taking over Mitchie's account, too. I think sometimes he actually wasn't writing her, but it was Laura.
Mm-hmm. That's a good, yeah.
So
I kind of thought that,
so.
too, especially with the link and stuff.
Yeah, because they kind of show you how they communicate with each other in the beginning, like when she's like, stop it. Like, you're being silly. Don't say things like that. And then all of a sudden, it's just like he's just quiet. But then, just stuff about Laura. Yeah. He just says stuff about Laura. I was like, that's Laura. That's creepy.
Yeah.
This person is seeing everything that's going on, and they're manipulating everything that's going on. When I know something is supposed to work a certain way and I'll click on it, but it's not working, it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah. What's happening? Yeah.
I'm just like, why is this happening? Like, there's nothing wrong right now. Like, nothing is, there's nothing that should be causing this to be a thing. Why is this happening right now?
And I have that thought 100 times every day, having like severe anxiety and stuff, like every little thing, even if I'm just like, let's say I'm putting pepperoni on a pizza that I'm making, and I was going to first say decorating a pizza with pepperoni. And let's say I drop one piece of pepperoni on the ground. I'd be like, oh my God, everything's such a fucking project, that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it happens. And so this movie, maybe that's why it resonated with me so fucking hardcore, is because that's how they create the tension at first. It's like, I'm getting the pinwheel. It's not doing anything. Because she's on a MacBook, and they get that loading pinwheel when it's just thinking or whatever. And, stuff like that. The internet connection goes out, stuff like that. Everybody deals with that, especially in the modern age and even in 2014. And so to use that as they just established that there's something fucked up going on, and they kind of do it right away by starting with a suicide video. And so from that point on, shit is fucked. You don't know how, but then every time there's any little blip that doesn't seem normal at all, it's like, oh fuck, like everything. And sometimes it's just a text message, sometimes just like the loading screen. It's like, oh God, like it's great.
So this is my theory. This is going to be my theory for this movie.
Who's got loafers on?
Let me see your shoes.
Give
me a shot of your shoes.
We see Blair's feet, so she's innocent.
Yeah, okay.
She doesn't have shoes on. Anyways, go ahead, sorry.
So when this was filmed, loading speeds weren't as they are today. There was a lot of pixelation. It would just get jarry and weird, and like their face would go in and out, and there was just pixels kind of thing.
Yeah.
The more that the movie went along, the more I felt like that was Laura going through each person on the screen, taking over their body.
Yeah. She makes them kill themselves.
Which I thought was fucking... when their face gets all distorted, it was so creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And I think No, me neither. And I think it got worse and more as the movie went on. And it even still happens when you have video conversation with somebody. Like, I've even noticed this right now, you and I talking, I've frozen once or twice, or maybe you for just a split second, you know? So that kind of stuff happens. So what's great about that concept is, yes, I think absolutely, especially as it gets towards the end of the movie, that is Laura's ghost fucking with shit. But it isn't always. Sometimes it's just the video chat, just doing it like normal. And so you don't know. And that's what's so scary about it. It's like, oh God, I don't know if that was just Skype being Skype or if there's a fucking ghost, you know? And that's what's great about this is they take stuff that we're all familiar with now and turn it on its ear so that now it's all scary and supernatural.
They're seeing everything that they do. They're like, sit down.
Yeah. Ooh,
Sit down? What do you mean sit down?
right.
Like, sit down and play or you're going to die. What?
You want to play a game? Yeah. Oof, duh.
You're lagging a little bit. It's freaking me out.
Is it really? Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's scaring me.
You know, even like if things lag or are pixelated a little less, we still know what it is, you know? So
Yeah.
it uses it really well to create all this tension and to twist it on its head by making it about fucking ghosts. And so now for the probably next week, whenever something weird happens on my computer, I'll think it's a ghost who's coming to kill me. So
Have you bullied anybody in your past life?
no, never.
No. I love that they were looking up cop codes. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And
Very smart. Blair is a very smart character.
Yeah.
Well, she's like the final girl. It doesn't end up well for her, but like, you know, she like, because, you know, in a horror movie like that, you always have the protagonist, often a girl, who kind of figures out how to fight the thing. So she's doing that. She looks for the cop codes, and then she starts reading more on that website, like you said, about what to do, like how to fight a dead internet person ghost or whatever, and then you got to fess up and do all these things.
I loved when they're like, let's bring Val in here, and Ken's like, I fucking hate Val. Val's a bitch.
Yeah.
But then they all go, yeah, Val only likes Val. Like, they don't really even like this girl.
Yeah,
But
and
she's like part of their friend group anyways. But I like when Laura starts posting the pictures of Val on her Facebook page. And she's like, what the fuck, Jess?
Like,
and Jess like, I didn't fucking do anything. And then it's on Adam's page.
Yeah.
The tension getting created was just because at this point they don't realize really what's going on. They're just like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Who is doing this?
Yeah, and this whole time, from right away in the movie, once the group chat starts, there's this one account without a picture, and it's the ghost. They don't know that yet. They're like, who is this fucker? And then all this stuff starts happening, and they don't even really consider that thing yet. They're like, you're doing this to me, like, you know, like you said, Val blames it on Jess because it shows up as Jess posting it. And then she deletes it. She's like, I didn't do it. And then, like you said, it shows up on Adam's. And so it just starts with, like, these kids starting on each other. And I fucking loved the way Val and Jess argue with each other. I'm like, I love, like, you know, I have a 13-year-old who's going to be 14 soon. It's like, I love that bitchy girl fight they have. Like, one of them says, like, suck my dick.
Ken goes,
I loved it.
let me know when y'all are done.
Yeah.
Sits back.
Because he's just fucking... Yeah, he's probably stoned and he's, like, making salsa. Ken has a blender in his room. And it's like, okay.
Famous Ken salsa.
Yeah,
like,
what?
okay.
So... And then Blair, while the girls are fighting, Blair's like, you guys are being so ghetto. I'm like, that's so white girl of Blair to be like, don't be ghetto. It's like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? You're saying like poor people, meaning brown people, like just fight each other all the time. And then Ken's like, how about we go meet in front of a Taco Bell and you guys can fight?
Oh, he says a Wendy's. I'm going to pick you both up. I'm going to drive you to the Wendy's parking lot and y'all can bitch, slap, fight this out.
Yeah, and then they're like, shut up, Ken. He's like, no, because he says Wendy's and Taco Bell, and I love it because you've seen videos of both of those, you know, people fighting. That's great.
I love Ken.
But then, so they're fighting and stuff, and then finally the ghost message just says, it was me. And so everyone's like, what the fuck?
Like, who the fuck are you?
And then it sends something else to her that we don't know what it is. And she's like, fuck you, I'm calling the cops. And that's when she hangs up. So she disappears for a long time.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God.
It scared me. That was the first time I jumped. Ooh.
Dude, it just goes off. And I mean, it's pretty cool that like when a video glitches out, it creates a jump scare. Like what a very well done in this movie to do that. You know what I mean?
Fucking
Just
frozen on her for a minute though.
Yeah. You mean when it comes back?
Yeah. When it came back.
Yeah, and then it comes back and she's just standing there with bleach.
The bleach with the cap off. I went, oh my God, she's going to drink a whole thing of bleach like on camera in front of them. Holy shit. But she did it. But that's what I assume happened.
Well,
that's what happened,
that's
right?
probably what happened. Yeah, you
don't see it.
You don't see it on camera. Right. But then what's really fucked up is they decide to call her cell phone. And her cell phone is laying on the countertop next to her in that frozen shot. And the cell phone starts moving. So it's not frozen. It's like, oh my fucking God, what is this? Like, why is she just standing there? Did you notice that? Like, it vibrates. And so it starts moving a little bit.
Her fucking...
Did you notice that?
I noticed that, but also like the thud, her body hitting the fucking ground.
Yes, after it like catches up or whatever. Oh my God. So, oh God. So yeah, she probably drank bleach. And it's just so dark. You know, teen suicide is very dark. I mean, people commit suicide for lots of different reasons, but when you haven't even had your life really happen yet, just the idea of being in a place, whether it's from mental disease or whatever, where you think, well, in this case, a ghost making you do it, but still, like, a teenager killing themselves is so fucking dark. And all the ways they die in this is, I mean, one guy just shoots himself. Okay, that's a normal suicide. Everything else is fucking insane. You know, like, fuck. So now they know what it can do.
And then just the screen being all, like, fucked up and glitching, but you see the cop leg.
They can't really tell what's going on. You can see her foot at the edge of the shot after it stops being frozen. And then you see cops walk in and you hear them saying different police codes. And at first it's like, oh, they're just checking all the time. Okay. Then they hear another one that they think was a mental health check because they're like, oh, she had Tourette's or she had seizures or something. But then they hear when they're like, wait, that's a code for suicide. Did they really say that? Oh my God. You know?
And Mitch was the only one that goes, I'm going over there. Like, I'm going to Val's.
Yeah, because it says, like, Val hung up or something.
But then that's, I think, when we figure out they can't leave. Like, y'all ain't going anywhere.
They're trying to figure out how to stop this person. And then, yeah, the next victim is because... Okay, why is the fat, dorky stoner guy is always knows computers? It's like, okay, I mean, but whatever. But I guess that's another way of them kind of turning stuff you are used to on its head. Because, like, the fact that he's, like, the nerdy hacker guy ends up not doing him any good, you know? So he comes up with some sort of Trojan virus to get rid of this thing.
I just kept yelling to screen, turn your computer off!
But it becomes clear that there is nothing they can do, and even doing that, because like Ken uploads this virus and has everybody do this certain thing with a file he sends them to get this person out of their chat room. Okay, and it works. And so then he calls the cops, and then the lady he's talking to on the 911 voice is like, "Don't leave. What are you doing, Ken?" Stuff like that. And it turns out it's the ghost again, like talking through the phone. So it's like, oh shit. And then he starts talking to her, and then the ghost account comes back into the chat room, and they're like, oh fuck. And it's just a no picture, but then it changes to a video that looks like it's on the floor looking through a basket. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah.
And somebody says something silly about like...
the vent thing. And I was like, oh my God, whose room is it in? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then Jess is like, wait, Ken, stand up again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, Ken's... Not Ken! I was like, no,
yeah, of course Ken's gotta go. Did you notice his head pop up the first time? Because I did this time, but I knew it was coming. Oh my God. And then they're like, wait, Ken, do it again. Like, he notices too, because he's seeing his feed, which is just his face. And then he's seeing the ghost account's camera feed, which is behind him or somewhere. So he goes over to look. And he finds something. What do you think he sees in there?
I don't know.
Because he looks under the desk and he's like, seems like he sees something, right?
Yeah, he pulled everything aside. When he looked in, I went, is it just like a hidden camera or something? But it freaked him the fuck out. Whatever he saw, but I don't know what it would have been.
Yeah. Because Val saw something we don't know either.
Yeah.
You know? And after that, we kind of know more about what's making the people kill themselves. But, like, it's still crazy. And, oh, my God. This kill is the fucking tits. It's kind of the only thing I wanted to talk... I mean, it's not the only thing I want to talk about. It's the thing that, like, obviously we have to get to it. Because, like, they're like, Ken, and, like, his video goes out, right?
the video keeps going in and out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. And it's like frozen. And then it freezes on him like screaming or something. And then it... fuck. Then it cuts to the video's working. But he's like got his blender on from the salsa. And he's making salsa out of his hand. And he's got his fucking hand in there. And they're like, oh my God. And the girls start, crying. And the men are screaming and everything. Oh my God. And then it like cuts out again. And then it cuts back. Fuck. Tell us, Shandy. Tell us what happens. Oh my God.
I forget what happened. 'Cause I wanted you to talk about it. Cause
he's got the picture off the blender. It comes back. He puts his hand in the blender. Everybody freaks out. And his video freezes again, and Ken's video goes out or something. Comes back, and now he's got the glass pitcher off of the blender. The blender's still going, so the blade is spinning, and he's holding it up to his throat.
His throat, that's right.
And just for a second, they see, they're like, oh my God! And then it freezes and goes out. And it just goes to like, how when your video cuts out, or if you're not running your video on a chat, it just shows like your profile picture or whatever. So it just cuts to that. It's like,
oh, it was like a weird photo of him too that was chosen, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah. Oh God, what a
technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's totally what it was like. Totally what it's like. Like, we'll be right back after we find out why this guy put a fucking blender in his neck. That's one of those things. I say it every once in a while in a horror movie where I'm like, well, I've never seen that before. Have you? I mean, that's a new kill to me.
I feel like I've seen something with a blender before, though.
The gremlin?
Wasn't it?
A gremlin gets good blended.
Yeah. I swear I've seen something with like a hand or something getting like totally like annihilated, but then like it coming back out, it's just like a stump. But the way it's done in this was so good because it was going in and out of the picture, and you could see the blood coming out and him freaking the fuck out. It was...
I've never seen like the picture off, the blade is spinning and just using it as a weapon. No. Especially on yourself, but like, fuck. Like, that was like, I'd never... Because obviously, yeah, you have seen, I think, the blender picture being used, like I said, Gremlins, and whatever movie you are trying to remember, I think I've seen it too. I don't know what we're thinking about. But yeah, taking the picture off and just, oh God, that was so fucked up, man. It's just creepy to me. It's like haunting. And it's just sad and dark because they're kids and they're killing themselves. And it's just, but they also, like, obviously they did something horrible. But, I mean, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I don't really believe in that, so it's, like, still sad that it's happening. And plus it was a thing he loved because he loved making his salsa. And now he's using it to kill himself.
Well, all the kills are personalized to the person, which reminded me of Dream Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Where each kill has something to do with the personality of the person that's dying.
Right.
Which I love that shit.
Yeah, me too. And in that one, in Dream Warriors, it's a little more fun and cartoony. It would have been fun right before he kills himself with his blender if Ken goes like, I'm beautiful and bad. Oh, man. But, yeah, God, it's just, I don't know. It's just, you know what it is? It's because, like, that could happen. And some teenager could, like, get really depressed or whatever and fucking do that,
But just doing it, seeing yourself do something like that and you don't have control of it is really terrifying to me.
Right. Because that's what we assume is happening. Mm-hmm. Like, it could be that whatever they see, like, whatever Val and Ken see at least, is, like, made by the ghost and is maybe whatever it is done in such a way that it, like, drives them to suicide right away. I don't know what that would be.
Like, you see your hand doing something, but that's not what you think your brain is telling your body to do. This movie's brilliant because it's like this girl killed herself because of cyberbullying. So she comes back and fucking cyberbullies all of them together as a collective to basically cause them to do the same thing to themselves.
Yeah, good point.
But this girl, Laura, was like, there's that video that she pulls up that was her on YouTube when she has the pieces of paper and she's like, like, these people are fucking harassing me. Like, they're fucking, why is nobody doing anything about this?
Yeah. No one was listening. Yeah.
No one fucking listens. Now, listen to the children.
Right.
Listen to the children.
You're so right. We've said that before. Believe the kids, you morons. But maybe don't, because then we wouldn't have a lot of these movies. But They'd be very short. But like in this case, she kills all these kids in ways that you would never suspect someone else did it because it's all suicides. Mm-hmm. Which is clever, but also a way, it's revenge because she killed herself. But so Ken has a blender in his room? Who has a blender in their room?
He makes that much salsa?
Yeah, in his room? Like bed salsa? Like, what is this?
There weren't any chips. Where's the chips?
Yeah, he didn't have any chips. Is he just drinking salsa? Maybe Ken was morally clean, but he definitely had something going on. But also, so later on, the kids, like, a couple of the kids print something. It's like, all these kids have printers in their room. Did you have a printer in your room?
No.
Even as, like, an adult? I never had a printer in my bedroom.
It was in my parents' office.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
My parents had a room where, like, they did the bills and shit like that. And they had a printer in there. Yeah. Not in my room.
Right, that's weird, right? But, it's of the time, too. I don't know, maybe, who knows? But I just don't think that was happening. Here's another thing that was definitely of the time that I loved, and I was like, God damn it. When the ghost account starts talking to them and stuff, one of the boys says, like, it's a troll. It's just a troll. And Blair says, what's a troll?
Yep.
And I was like, God, I wish I was still there where he didn't know what a troll was, and now one is president again. Oh, and also it's like when the ghost actually starts sending them pictures, and he's sending Blair like a picture of her and Adam with something on it that says like, this is not your boyfriend, Did you notice how long it takes her to download the first picture? I was like, oh, that's scary. Old download speeds.
That was great, though, because I was like, oh, my God, what's this going to be? What is this going to fucking be? Could have been anything.
Just all these little things that are real from real life that's like, oh, but now I know, now I'm scared of it, And I was wondering, I'm just looking at my notes, and at some point I just write, oh, God, is this the blender thing? And the next note is, it was. But so, how did you watch this? On TV or your computer?
On TV.
Okay. I wonder what it was like to watch it in the theater.
Huh.
Because, like, obviously watching a horror movie in the theater with a bunch of people when you're all kind of on the same page and no one's fucking talking and you're just all watching this scary movie together, it's great energy, right? But also, like, because this movie is a screenlife or whatever you want to call it and takes place on, like, a Skype call, I wonder if seeing it in the theater would maybe make it a little less realistic because it's like, you're with 100 people and it's on a huge screen. So, whereas like I said, I watch it on a computer, which is super like, oh God, I feel like I'm there. I'm going, and even just watching at home, like you said, on your TV is still like a little closer to reality. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Probably would have changed it a little bit. I mean, because you think about people like talking and being on their fucking phones, and there's no soundtrack to this. So
yeah. But what I mean is, like, even if it's a great crowd and everybody's on the same page,
would it be the same?
It's still like, and no one's fucking around. It's still just like it's no matter how into the movie are you, if you're in a theater, you gotta at least still be aware somewhere in there. Well, I'm not on this Zoom call, or I'm not on this Skype call. I'm in a theater. Whereas me watching on a computer, or even you watching on TV, I think it's easier for your brain to slip into like, oh shit, this is happening, And like I'm watching it on my computer, and then I like had a little notepad note up to type notes into. And that made it kind of confusing.
So
sometimes I'm like, wait, is this the screen or the movie? Is this my screen or the movie? You know what I mean? Did you ever, like, during the movie, did you ever try to, like, move one of the windows? Because she's got a bunch of windows up. And, like, sometimes it's in front of something. And, like, yeah, she has so many tabs on her Google, too. It's like, girl, come on. But, I dated a girl once who always had like 30 tabs open. It's like, how are you okay?
Tabs.
I can't have more than like 2. Yeah, sometimes Blair will like go to Google something, and so there will be a window in front of the video, and something fucked up is going on in the video.
Yeah.
And she can't see it.
Yeah,
and so there's a time or two I'm like, I wish I could move that,
I kept trying to look at things in the background. So I think I missed some dialogue sometimes and what was going on.
Like on her desktop?
Yeah, because there was a point where she had the article up on the screen. This is when they all were like beginning to freak out about everything that was happening. I I looked down at the bottom. It was the thing about this. This is what you have to do to get rid of it, and like this is what happens if you answer a message from a deceased person.
Don't do that, by the way, kids.
But it kind of was like it was just like somebody responding to the thread. Like there's no run. Ghost is no. Uses proxy and hack you when you are not look. So it basically was like
you saw that somewhere.
It was at the very bottom of Blair's screen. And it was just a sliver of it, and it was basically explaining what was happening to everybody, which I thought was, I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was just a really cool thing to do.
I'm pretty sure everything that you can see on Blair's desktop is intentional.
Yeah, that was cool.
Little clues.
Oh, but do we want to talk about the printout things? How fucking crazy that was?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're kind of going all over the place, but it's fine.
But it's because it's so good.
Yeah. It's just it's really well done. This is a great movie, and it's before we start, holy shit!
Oh my God,
you don't even know about the movie that we're watching. Dude, I'll tell you why that just almost gave me a heart attack. It plays into the movie. That's why we're video chatting
chills.
too. Shandy's like dying. She says she has goosebumps. Because we're watching.
I was like, who is
that?
that?
About the movie Unfriended, which is about a haunted Skype call, and so shit's happening in the background. You awful little monster.
And you just stood there so still.
Are you just telling me you're home? Hi. Is that what you're saying?
I wanted to scare you too.
Well, you did, but you didn't even know how bad it was going to be. Oh my God.
She just stood there too, so still. I was like, is that person really there? Oh my God.
Let me say this in the language of your people. That was sus no cat. All right? So.
Oh, Shandy, I love your microphone thingy.
Thank you.
Can you hear her? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, you're home now.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun.
Alright.
Didn't I call it that she was going to end up doing something but unintentional?
You did. Oh, you did call it. Good job. God, that was fucking terrifying.
That scared I'm sweating.
Good God! Anyways, I'm gonna ground the shit out of her. You're grounded until you're 25!
My toes are sweaty. Like, it took me a minute to, like, realize what was going on. That it was your daughter.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, because I just saw the door opening. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
It just opened, and then she just stood there so still and didn't say anything. I was like, oh my God, who is that?
Yeah. And sometimes when you have heat or air conditioning on, an open door might move a little bit from air pressure changing if it turns on or off. But that's all off for sound quality. So it's like, oh my God, what is happening?
She just made a good point, though, that I think you were also trying to say about seeing it in the theater and having it in a different setting, is that it does create this like little bubble that you're in.
Yeah.
Like you're just watching it with all of these kids. You're kind of taken out of reality in a sense, which was really cool.
Whereas, like, here, I felt like I was there. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And there's shit happening on the camera. So I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, that was very good. Good job, Margaret. Very good. Well done.
Don't ground her. Buy her something.
I buy her stuff all the time.
Good job.
No, but I got, she earned her allowance today. So there you go. I got some allowance for her sitting on the table, so she earned that.
Oh, my God.
Holy shit, man. What the fuck?
I hate it so much.
You know, and just going off that note, like, I wrote down here, I'm so involved in this, I feel silly. You know, because I just felt like so fucking on edge and like pit in my stomach. The first email, when it sends out does it send the pictures first? Whatever it does. The first email, that's when I felt a knot in my stomach. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I just got a knot in my stomach from an email. From just showing that there was an email in this girl's inbox. Like, oh my God.
The moment where I went, all these fucking kids deserve this shit, is when they were playing Never Have I Ever, and the thing was, never have I ever defaced Laura's grave.
Yeah, fuck.
How fucking evil. You cyberbullied this kid into killing herself, and you fucking defaced her fucking grave afterwards?
Yeah.
This made me think of the kids from prom night. How they, killed her sister and then fucking befriended her.
Right, like did something so over the top horrible. How could you do that?
That's evil shit.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Fucking kids are evil.
Dude. Oh, man.
Did you pee your pants?
Maybe
I
a little
almost
bit. But yeah, just
Jesus.
I mean, yeah, there was times where I was like, holy good. And it was just so scary. And they really do a good job. I did write down, if my internet actually cut out or my computer actually froze or something while I was watching this movie, I would fucking die. Like, I'd just have a heart attack, like, holy fucking shit, you know?
You're like, oh my God, is that a ghost doing it?
Yeah, well, here's the note, and I forgot that I did this till just now. And this is typed out. So I wrote, if my internet actually cut out or my computer actually froze or something during this, I would poop my pants. And then the next note says, I just deleted, quote unquote, just like Laura, because I was scared. Because she poops her pants in that video. They reveal that she passed out and pooped her pants.
Yeah, because we...
So I wrote that, and my first thought when I typed that out the first time was like, no, because then she'll see it. And I was like, what the fuck am I talking about? You know, it was just so like, oh, man.
Dude.
Whew.
When you see just the extent of the video of her having shit herself because she was so drunk, I go, I bet fucking Blair took that fucking video. I bet the person that they think is the fucking saint of the group is probably the worst fucking one out of them. I mean, the thing that probably like pushed her over the fucking edge. Like first is like the person that you thought was your friend and that loved you and gave a shit about you that you grew up with is the one that took the fucking video. Like, motherfucker.
Yeah, went the furthest with it. Yeah.
I mean, I've done shit. We did shit in high school to people when they were passed out. Like, we drew dicks on their face and shit.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine, like, seeing a friend that shit themselves and fucking taking video of it and thinking it was funny. We'd probably be really concerned, like you had alcohol poisoning or something, you know?
Shitting yourself is, like, major.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
Yeah, man. Oof. Yeah, and so there's a moment, like you said, when Val's dead and now Ken's dead, and then the monster, well, the ghost, whatever, says, we're going to play Never Have I Ever. And just this morning, I was internally beating myself up for like 20 years ago. I took my roommate's quarters and put $1 in because I needed quarters for the subway or some shit. I don't know what I was doing. But like, I didn't even technically steal. I just traded them out. And then later he's like, oh man, I need the quarters for laundry. And so I felt really bad about it. And I'm still beating myself up about it, even though I apologized and it was $1 that I didn't even steal. And meanwhile, these kids are like, I stole $800 from you. Fucked your best friend. And I'm like, here's what anxiety does. It's telling me like, you're just as bad as these kids. It's like, no, I'm not. But am I? Yes.
I used to steal my dad's CDs and sell them at the store so I could get cash.
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Ooh.
And like my dad,
I don't know.
I'm an idiot. I was an idiot kid because this is a store that my dad frequents. So he would go in there and be like, I think these are my CDs. Like,
oh my God.
Did my daughter come in here? And they're like, what does she look like? I got in so much trouble.
Man. So you got caught.
I got caught. But my parents wouldn't let me get a job until I was 18.
Really? Why not?
They didn't even let me get they didn't teach me how to drive, let me get my license or anything.
And you grew up in the Midwest, for people that don't know. So if you grew up in New York and never learned to drive, that's one thing. But you were in a place where people do drive, and in some cases you need to drive.
I lived in the middle of nowhere. But I was a little raver kid, so I wanted money to buy drugs and like get into parties. So they'd only give me enough money for my school lunches, so I would just pocket that and end up just having a Coke and a Snickers for lunch and save that money. But some of the parties were expensive to get into, so I would steal my dad's shit.
Raves are a whole deal, and for people that make fun of the middle of the country and us rednecks who grew up in the middle of nowhere, because I did too, our raves are fucking crazy.
They were
just
fun.
so people know, because we had space. There was fucking school buses and shit at our raves. Massive bonfires, massive.
Yeah,
we burned a fucking building down. So you stole your dad's CDs.
Pawned
and
them.
he caught you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so it was a pawn shop. Okay.
Yeah.
So, not a good crime.
I used to steal money from my mom's purse, too.
Okay. First of all, do you still feel bad about that?
No.
Good, because my next point was going to be, fuck your parents. If I did that to my folks, I'd still feel bad because they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've talked about your parents and how you don't really talk to them and stuff and whatever, and they did mean things to you. Mine never did, and I never stole from them. I called my mom a bitch once and got, like, grounded for, like, a month, and I'm like, yeah, I probably deserved that. And I don't know about some of these kids if they had good parents or not, because they're all obviously getting up to some fucking shenanigans.
It sounds like they are emulating their parents, or they're acting that way because their parents fucking suck.
Probably. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Especially the character Adam, the one with the gun, who's, like we said, probably a rich kid. Someone says that he has a lot of money. Oh, right, because when they're all revealing the horrible things they've done, it turns out that Jess stole $800 from Adam once. And she's like, well, you have a lot of money. You're never going to miss it. I was like, yeah, fuck him. That's right, girl. Eat the rich, you know?
Did you ever play that game? Never Have I Ever? Like at a high school party or a middle school party?
Yeah, but I just win. Especially when I was like 20, 21. I didn't do shit. I didn't lose my virginity until I was just about 21. I never drank till I was like 18, just about 19. First time I drank. Pot was like another year after that. I lied to my parents once about eating the entire box of chicken and a biscuit crackers. But I really didn't do, I didn't do much bad things. But, me having this stupid brain and really bad anxiety and stuff, like, I've spent my whole life feeling really guilty about things. And then when I find out what other people have done, I'm like, oh. Like, maybe I'm all right,
I mean, the Never Have I Ever games I played, it was always sexual shit. It was always like, have you ever given a guy a blowjob?
Have you?
Like, it was always shit like that. So it was just like...
Right.
God, it was just so childish. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
But it was like so salacious. Like, ooh, who's going to be truthful and honest? And like, who actually has done these things? That's crazy. Right. But then you use that shit as ammunition. That's what fucking kids do. Like, if you find out shit like that, then you end up starting rumors about people.
Yeah. Like, so you play that game, right? And then, like, the next time you piss one of your friends off, they'll be like, Shandy sucks everybody's dicks, or something like that. You know what I mean? They turn it... Well, I mean, let's say that, using that example, it's like, now you're a whore, and everybody's going to call you a whore. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing. Yep. And that's totally what these kids did. And that's another thing that this movie uses well as a thing you know about that's, normal, and then they turn it on its ear because, first, the ghost is asking questions. Every time it asks a question, it counts down. And if they don't fess up before it counts down, someone's going to die. At the point in the movie, we've already seen 2 of the kids die, and then the ghost is like, we're going to play a game, we're going to play Never Have I Ever. At that point, you're like, oh, fuck. Like, now it's a scary thing. It's not this dumb little game. It's like, oh, shit, it's going to, like, people are going to find things out about each other, and oh, my God, Yeah. Because the ghost has already proven it can kill people, and that it knows about them. So it's like, oh, fuck,
It freaked me out, and I love that Laura's ghost started it off, but then they ended up getting so pissed at each other that they just kind of started doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
They were like...
Yeah. Adam gets real pissed, and he starts that. And he starts it to be about himself, sort of, right? Because he's like, never have I ever had sex. And then that's when we find out that Blair's like, oh, no, oh my God. They're like, you gotta do it. Because every time a question gets asked, even when he starts asking questions, it still counts down. So she's like, okay, yes, it was me. And then his next thing is like, never have I ever fucked my boyfriend's best friend. And it's like, oh, shit. So it's just like, and it's like the stuff you talked about. Like, yeah, it's all these dumb little stupid immature things. But now it's... turned them into these horrible, insidious things, And like you said, people use it to gossip about you, but this is even like beyond that now, because now it's like fucking death is involved, So
death is involved, and then there's the video of them having sex, which to me was like, oh, Adam was secretly filming it or some weird ass shit.
Yeah.
And she's going, don't look, Mitch, don't look. Don't, you don't have to look at it.
And the ghost forces the video onto everybody's screen.
Like, how are all these people friends? They all fucking secretly hate one another.
Yeah.
And they are so quick to be like, fuck you. Like, I know you did it. Like, why are you such an asshole?
Yeah.
Like, why are y'all friends?
Yeah. Maybe to me, that's like, like I said, a lot of this is very realistic, which makes it scary. But like, maybe that is the unrealistic thing about the movie, is that they're all really bad people, because of course people like that exist, but like when I think about my high school friends, I mean, there's probably one or two of them that turn out to suck, but like most of them are like awesome, and I'm still friends with most of them. You know what I mean? Like there's not people who did shit like this.
I feel like it's a good horror movie trope. Like it kind of reminds me like the girls in Craft, where you have these kids that are part of this clique because of different reasons. Not necessarily because they like each other, but it's this thing of one being part of a group, not being alone because you don't want to be the loner in school because you get picked on or you're the weird kid.
Yeah.
But also these kids seem like the Richie kids in town.
Yeah.
So they're all kind of forced to like be friends with each other in a sense.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They always sit at the same table at the cafeteria and nobody else can fucking sit with them. But they don't necessarily like each other. It's just they're that clique that gets formed because there has to be the kids that are like the Richie popular kids.
And they start hanging out probably because their parents are friends. Adam or Mitch mentions that my dad's not home because he's out drinking with
Your dad. Yeah.
But so, yeah, their parents know each other, so these kids were probably kind of put together. And then they started hanging out because they're the rich kids, and they know each other. And then, yeah, once they started finding out how shitty everybody is, well, then it's too late. Because, you know, like you say, you don't want to be alone. You got to keep up your social fucking facade and everything. So, like a good horror movie often will take reality and just spin one thing that's a little bit unrealistic about it. And so that's what this is. So like, okay, so yes, lots of kids are friends and lots of kids talk to each other on video chat. But what if every one of these kids was a shithead and a real selfish asshole, and then a ghost fucking airs all their dirty laundry? You know, I think that's kind of the what if is not just the ghost. The what if is like, what if everybody sucks too? Because, you know, it's not necessarily going to happen in real life that way. But so they get playing Never Have I Ever. And the first couple questions are mostly Jess getting in trouble, saying she stole money from Adam. She told people that Blair had a eating disorder and stuff like that. And then Adam gets pissed because they revealed that Mitch sold Adam out to the cops once when they were selling weed together.
Yeah.
And he sold him out because it was either me or you. It was both of us or one of us. It's like, yeah, what asshole kids? These fucking rich kids.
Horrible.
And that's when they start screaming at each other and stuff. And in there, they're kind of ignoring Jess. And at one point, her audio goes out, and she can't hear anybody else. And then it comes back in, and then it seems to go out again. And she's crying, and like everybody's just so upset and screaming. And Blair's trying to calm her down. And Jess is like, oh my God. And then like it gets to this point where they don't even notice it. And they finally notice her video's not there, right? And the video comes back on. She's like cowering against the door. And then you remember what the ghost chat says right then? Bye-bye, Jess.
Oh, yeah. Bye-bye, Jess. Oh.
And, oh, man, tell us about this kill, my friend, because I know you liked it.
Fucking curling iron in the mouth. Hot curling iron in your mouth.
Good God.
And I thought it was also interesting that she had her go into the bathroom by the toilet because of the video that they took of her is about her shitting herself. So it's a smart kill.
Yeah.
Also because a curling iron is a tool used for, you know, making yourself look pretty.
Yeah, body image thing, yeah.
I've burnt myself on a curling iron on my arm.
Yeah?
And on like my neck before. It fucking hurts. And it takes a long time to heal.
Oh, yeah, it's nasty.
Think of that going in your mouth. But yeah, the meme of her afterwards that goes up on the screen for everyone.
Yeah, now she finally shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Ugh, yeah, terrible death. And this is not something that's happened before while we were recording, but when I watch something that we're going to talk about, I throw it up on Letterboxd and say, I watched this for Earthful of Popcorn, my podcast with Shandy, da-da-da. And I just said a couple other things that I really liked it. So someone already commented, though, and it's actually about this that we're talking about right now.
Hey!
So Allegra, who's a good old Whitest Kids fan, her screen name is Allegra-G, because her name is Allegra, then whatever her last name is, Allegra G, right? The first time she ever interacted with us during a Whitest Kids stream years ago, she said something nice. And I was, thank you, Allie Grag. It's Allegra G. Anyway, so Allegra says, this movie has the second best death by curling iron. She says the first one is Sleepaway Camp. And I don't remember that one, but that movie does have some crazy kills, so I'm sure.
There's some crazy ass shit in that movie.
Yeah, that movie's crazy too. But yeah, this, oh, dude, it's just, It's just nasty. And then what you're left with are these three people, and that's when they start revealing that Blair cheated on Mitch with Adam, and then they get these printouts. And after everybody's been screaming and fighting, once Adam and Blair get these printouts, they kind of calm down, and they try and calm Mitch down. Oh my God! Fuck!
I was like, what the fuck is on those things? First, I thought it was a picture or something.
Like of them having sex or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
but man, when you find out what it is...
Again, another clever thing, not only on the part of the filmmakers, but very clever job to the ghost.
It's crazy because at this point, it's like they've almost forgotten that their friends have fucking killed themselves. Like, they're more concerned about their little tiff that they got going on. Like, the ghost has made it to the point where they're just, like, all against each other. That's such good writing because Adam says, it's me or you. So what ends up happening?
Mitch is very upset about all this drama, and he says he's going to leave. I'm going to leave. I got to get the fuck out of here. They're like, no, because, you know, the ghost has established if you leave or hang up, you're going to die. And like you said, we don't really know it yet, but this sets up a me or you kind of thing. And finally, Blair's like, okay, I'll show you. God. And all it is a printout of the words, if you show this to Mitch, Adam will die. And as soon as she holds up that paper, Adam's already been waving around his gun and going crazy. He just puts it right in his face and blows his own head off, like, immediately, without even skipping a beat. Oh, God, it's so fucked up.
She didn't care about you, Adam.
Nope. And we find out more about who she doesn't care about shortly after that. You know? This girl, like you said, like they really put her out to be the virginal heroine that didn't do anything wrong. When it comes to all this horrible stuff that made this girl kill herself, Blair's like the ringleader.
Yep.
You know? And so, yeah, Adam just blows his own head off, and they're all upset, and it's crazy. And this is the stuff you talked about. The pixelation, all the weird camera shit starts really going over the top. And I think maybe my favorite gimmick of all the internet stuff they do and they're on social media, whatever, is when you see Blair start to type something to someone, and then she clearly has a second thought and deletes it and says something else. I thought that was fucking awesome and clever. And it's because it's like, it gives a little insight to her character. And also, normally when it happens, you're learning new information too. Like, because, you know, like you mentioned, she starts to say to Mitch that Laura had, or to Adam or somebody, that Laura had a touchy uncle.
But she didn't want to give him that information. Yeah.
Yeah, she never says it. And it's like, oh, you know, and so that was like one of the first times that it becomes evident that they're keeping things from each other too, you know? But the best one is at the end. They think it's like kind of done. And she gets this like alarm goes off that freaks them the fuck out. And it's just about her, it tells her to like do her
They have
homework
a
or
test
something,
the
right?
next day, and she kind of smiles and laughs a little bit, like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
we have a test tomorrow. It's just an
Right.
alarm.
It's one moment of relief. And I thought maybe, though, because she's laughing, and I get it, okay, there's all this horrible stuff going on. You thought something else horrible was about to happen, and it didn't, so you're relieved. But also I thought maybe she was losing her mind.
I mean,
You
you just
know?
saw a whole bunch of your friends
Yeah,
get
obvious.
fucking kill themselves. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and just like a blender to the neck. I'm never going to it's just fucking crazy. You know what it is? Because I love to cook, and it's like thinking of one of my cooking implements being used against me is just awful. You know? But they're like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then like the voice is like, there's one more question. God damn! It's just Mitch and Blair left. And it says, never have I ever posted the Kill Yourself Laura video. And, oh my God, it's just... And she's like, it wasn't us, we're good people, we wouldn't do that, da-da-da-da-da. We didn't do it. And then she says a bunch of stuff like that. You know, and the ghost is like, you know it's Adam, why are you protecting him? You know that he did it. First she says, I promise you it wasn't him. And then she deletes, promise you. And it was just going to say it wasn't him. So even that tells you like, okay, well, she's already deciding how to say this because she knows it's not true. And if you know it's not true, you're going to still lie, but take out the word promise, like, you know, so it makes it a little less like you lied or something. I don't know. But then she deletes that, just says it was him. Oh, God.
It was him.
And here's the foreshadowing, because what does he do? As soon as she tells the ghost it was him, what happens? Yeah, that knife he had earlier right in his fucking
Right
face.
in his eye.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh my God, everybody's dead. And then the ghost thing says, one more question. And it's like, what the fuck could possibly... Did you even wonder what it was? I mean, did you have any idea what the question was going to be? Now everybody's dead? What would it be? Like, we think we know everything, right?
Well, this is when I was like, well, what has she done to deserve it? I was like, I bet she's the one that took the video. And then here we go. Man, that's some creepy ass shit when it pans around to her fucking laughing and shit. And they just left her there like that. Like, what the fuck?
And what a terrible friend. And she's like chatting with the ghost right before they reveal that it was her. She's like, I'm sorry you and I drifted apart. And the ghost is like, drifted apart?
I know.
I almost felt like the ghost could have said like, bitch, please. You know, because it's like...
Yeah, because she starts like frantically going to the Facebook page and like pulling up pictures of her. And then when they were little, she's like, look at us. Look how we used to be.
We're friends. Yeah. Oh my God.
Getting desperate much?
Yeah, fuck. And then it shows that she did it. And it's just so, it's really disturbing because, like we said, the act of just laughing at someone who's that drunk and having that much of an issue that they poop themselves and passed out in a field somewhere, whatever they were, that's awful. And then it's just the fact she lied about it and she sold out her boyfriend. She sold out the guy she was sleeping with. She's just a really not a good person.
And she had her boyfriend probably post it and make sure to edit her out of it. I guarantee you. Mm-hmm. But make sure you keep the end out of it.
Yeah, because earlier when they watched the video, it ends just with showing her lying on the ground. And then, of course, because of ghost powers, now it's got the little extra 30 seconds. Or no, it's a video of just the last 30 seconds. That's what it is. Like here's a deleted scene from The Night You Ruined My Life, you know. But yeah, so and she knows that. And so right before we see the video, then the ghost thing like goes away.
I was like, okay, she's confessed her sins.
Yeah, I don't think I can ever forgive you. And it just leaves her. And she's like freaking out and looking around. And she shuts the laptop because she thinks she hears something. And then we just see like, what, a flash of like a white gross ghost face, right?
Yeah, it was Laura.
It was Laura, okay.
So I was like, one of two things is going to happen. She's going to be fine, but now fucking traumatized for the rest of her life, so she may end up just killing herself anyways. Or she's going to have a gnarly fucking death. But what would her death be? Because we haven't really seen, what has she done like everybody else has done? What would she have killed herself with?
And it also makes you wonder, so before everybody else killed themselves, did they see Laura's ghost?
I bet they did.
They probably did.
Oh, that's probably what Ken saw.
There you
was
go.
Laura's face.
You're right. Yeah. Like down there in the, hiding in the grate or wherever it was. Oh, God.
Did you say you just recently watched Heathers with your daughter?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why it just popped in my head though, but like, isn't most of that movie like about basically the same thing, like killing all the like jocks and the preppy kids that are all the bullies, but making it seem like they killed themselves? When I thought of the bleach,
yeah, you're right.
Because they made that.
Yeah.
Didn't they make one of the girls drink bleach?
Yeah,
and she like fell in the glass.
Yeah, it wasn't bleach. It was something like that. It was some sort of cleaning,
kind of
scrubbing
thing.
product.
But it's the
like
same
that.
kind of concept though. Of like, we're going to get our revenge on the fucking bullies, but make it seem like they did it themselves.
I really want to see some behind the scenes stuff on this. I want to know, like, did these kids each just like tape themselves for the whole 85 minutes or whatever? Or did they get breaks? Because sometimes it cut, not everybody's on screen the whole time.
Yeah.
But maybe just for continuity's sake and to make it work, maybe they all just were on camera for that long.
Yeah, the production of this must have been really interesting to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of post-production because you've got all the computer stuff to do. But Unfriended is a good title for this. I think it's clever. But I wonder if this script was ever called Billy227 because that's the chat name of the ghost. That'd be kind of a cool name for it too, And I could just, for some reason, I just pictured it in my mind as like when it was just like a script being pitched around to whoever. I could just see that being typed out, and then they'd be like, well, let's call it Unfriended instead because it's a little more on the nose. And
we didn't talk about that either, is that Blair actually was still friends with Laura on Facebook. And Mitch was like, well, just unfriend her. She's like, I can't. Well, refresh your screen. Then she was able to unfriend her. And then it was like, oh my God, this Billy, that's Laura's Skype account. She's still part of the friend group. Like I never unfriended her.
Yeah, you're right. They should have had an after credit song. But Later on, she is friends with her again on Facebook. Like, it doesn't work. It says it's unfriended and then it's back. It's so fucking creepy. And it's just a little weird thing. There's a horror to being like, oh my God, I'm still connected to them. And I know I shouldn't be, you know?
Still find you.
Mm-hmm.
I had that thought too, where I went, when she ends up going to Laura's Facebook page to make it a memoriam, like a memorial page instead, I went, who's going to run my social media when I'm dead? Like, it's just going to go quiet. Like, it's just going to be crickets all of a sudden. But it's still there.
I have mine set up.
I have mine set up on Facebook.
Oh, you do? To go to somebody else? Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Is it me?
You just put the poster of Unfriended.
Yeah. They're like, man, she should have given it to someone who was like mature, not that fucking idiot.
But it's just like, that's the thing with the internet stuff too, which coincides with like how shitty it is that they posted that video of her drunk like that, is that it remains forever in the ether. You know, like it's always going to be there. We're always going to be there. As crazy to think of.
Yeah. One of my notes that I wrote down just said the internet is forever, you know, and it's hard to wipe shit clean.
Be careful what you say. Facebook, I'm trying to forget about this shit.
And in my case, and in your case, we have fans, anonymous fans all over the internet. There's probably some of that shit out there. Like I said, so it's so hard to scrub it.
Well, when I was on the show, they do all this like pre-show stuff, right? Like pre-interview stuff. They asked me, they said, is there anything out there that can be found online that we might need to know about? And I said, yeah, you'll probably see my mugshot when I was 18. And they were like, really? I was like, yeah. And of course, what is one of the first things that comes up when the show airs is reality stars Shandy Sullivan's mugshot. And like started like circulating.
Oh
but
my God.
I had already mentioned it, so it wasn't a fucking, like, it's not a fucking secret. But then, you know, I got to be on VH1's, like, the top 30 celebrity mugshots. I think I was 30 or 29 or something. I think I beat somebody. I think I was 29.
Listen, I've seen your mugshot because, yeah, I Googled you for some reason looking for pictures for a flyer or something. It's not like a crazy mugshot.
No, and it's not the first thing that pops up anymore, but it used to be. Like, when the show first aired, for, like, the first... maybe like 10 years of the show having aired, if you Google my name, it was the first photo that came up. But now it's not anymore, which is fine. But it's like, I was 18.
Right.
Leave me alone. I was crying. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still there.
Well, and it's still on the first page, too. I mean, it's still easy to find. But my point is, I find it weird that you'd be in the top 30 mugshots because it's like, it's not Nick Nolte's mugshot. You know what I mean? Like, it's normal. You know, it's not like a crazy mugshot.
I was actually shocked. I was like, out of all of the celebrities that have a mugshot,
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I guess because I was relevant in the media at the time.
Was it while the show was still on or had it just ended or something?
I think it was in the same year, but
Okay.
yeah.
So that's probably part of it, yeah, then too. Because, I mean, yeah, in the grand history of celebrities getting in trouble, I mean, you know. I would say that's down there. And A, you're a teenager, and B, it's not a funny mugshot. It's just some girl's face. You know what I mean? It's like Nick Nolte's is amazing. The old country singer who got caught drinking and driving, Glenn Campbell's, is amazing. You know, there's some fantastic mugshots out there.
I mean, David Bowie's is like the hottest mugshot that's ever happened on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
For sure. God. Super sexy. And like... And yours isn't even hot, no offense, but it's just normal.
No, it's just a
So
kid.
it's like, I'm just trying to think, like, why? Yeah, you're just a kid. So it's like, why? I just don't see. But you're right. It's probably just you were on TV and stuff at the time. You were someone people were talking about at the time. So makes sense. Nick Nolte's is my favorite. So you know, it
It's
wasn't
so
up
good.
there.
His fucking hair.
Yeah. You know who wasn't number one? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
What a fucked up thing, huh? I don't have a mugshot.
You don't want one.
I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you're right.
Unless it's for like a protest or something.
Right.
Yeah, having a mugshot doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad person or you did anything bad.
Doesn't at all.
No.
Fuck, man.
Well, can we talk about the 2 songs that play?
Yes, the music. Yeah.
When there's finally music, I did my clap thing that I do when I get really excited about something. I was like, yay, music! But I love how they're using it. I love that, like, the ghost is antagonizing them. Like, it's so fucking good. The first one was, you lie, 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 lie. When they're playing the game.
Oh, they're already starting
Never
the game.
have I ever.
Yeah. Oh my
you lie,
god.
lie, 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 lie.
It was so perfect.
You lie, lie,
But what's cool about it is it starts playing and she tries to mute her speakers. That doesn't
They're
work.
all
'cause it just
yelling
keeps
at
playing.
each other too.
Yeah,
so
and they're
it's
all
just
screaming and
like-
yelling. It's just crazy. There's so much chaos going on. And then she tries to mute the song. That doesn't work. She looks at the playlist and it just says how you lie, 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 lie over and over and over again. Oh my god.
So she's trying to delete it, but it's like not deleting.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so good.
It's so fucking crazy, man. It's such a weird thing for a ghost to do, but a lot of this is, okay, me as a 44-year-old man, when I see the thing that the ghost does to these kids, I'm like, well, that wouldn't freak me out. Changing my playlist, who gives a shit? But when you're a fucking teenager, you know, fucking with your Facebook profile, changing your playlist that you made for all these different situations, you know, showing your friends that you're mean to them, all this stuff is like big deal.
It just added to the agitation, I feel like that they're already
Yeah.
experiencing. Like
Yeah.
they're already freaking the fuck out at each other and pissed. And now this fucking song that they probably don't even know the song, but it's saying the thing that they're all doing. It's calling them out. Mm-hmm. Basically. You lie, 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 lie.
Okay, so the
God.
song is called How You Lie, Lie, Lie by Connie Conway.
It's the next song by her too, the one that after Mitch stabs himself in the eye.
Jesus.
The song I Hurt Too. It says, I hurt too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Ah,
Man.
so fucking it's brutal. That's a
Yeah.
brutal thing to do.
Yeah.
Because also music brings so much emotion and connection between human beings. So to like use it in that way was like, mwah.
Music makes the people come together. But not only does the stuff it uses against the kids freak the kids out because they're kids, like they're very teen things to do to them, but the ghost's a teenager. So the ghost isn't going to be like, I'm going to go kill their parents. The ghost is a teenager, so the ghost's like, I'm going to fuck with this bitch's playlist. And then going to tell her boyfriend she slept around on him, you know? Like, it's like teen shit, but taken obviously to a crazy level, but yeah. Okay, so a few notes about the movie itself. So Unfriended was made for like $1 million. It was not a huge budget. It made like 67. It was a huge fucking hit. And I can see why.
Never heard of it. That's so crazy.
Well, you know, it was 10, 11 years ago. Maybe you're busy. I don't know. But also, it probably kind of, you know, was a huge hit that kind of dissipated because it was of a timely thing, Facebook. And Facebook kind of fell out of favor, especially with younger people. You know, they don't really do Facebook.
It almost made me feel like I had went on Livewire or WikiLeaks to find the video of what happened to these kids. And now I'm watching it. Almost like how people were looking for the suicide video. Like it's on some paranormal dark web site somewhere.
That's funny. That's the second time you've said the term dark web. Do you know about the sequel to this movie?
What? There's a sequel?
It's happening again. Unfriended, the dark web is what it's called.
It's not called Bloodlines?
No.
Just why does that keep happening?
I love it. Let it never stop. But
How many times have I mentioned that while we've
I don't know, a
almost
lot.
every time.
But it's funny. And you and I were just texting about it the other day. But but then you have people who like there's like a Facebook.
You just cut out.
Yeah, I know I
What
cut out.
the
It's
hell just happened?
I'll tell you. Can you hear me?
Oh my god, that scared the shit.
I'm sure it did.
Because I saw your
Fucking
mouth
goddamn it.
just going. You were just going.
Yeah.
But I also have shitty headphones, so I was like, maybe I knocked my connection. But that was fucking creepy.
We've been talking for a while, and I started getting ADHD fidgety, and I messed with the cord on my mic. So I'm sorry that this happened during a discussion about a movie about a video chat going wrong. You know, it's easy to see a poster or a trailer for a movie like this, and if you're not a teenager, or if you are a teenager and it's a 10-year-old movie, it's easy to look at this and say, hey, I don't want to see that. To see the trailer or the poster be like, yeah, this movie doesn't look great. It looks like another teeny bopper, horror movie. But it's good.
Yeah, it exceeded all my expectations. I didn't have much. I was just like,
Sure.
I try not to go into it with too much.
Right.
But damn, it's
Yeah.
good.
Cool. So let's be done. This has been a long one, and maybe I'll cut it down, but it might be long. So it'll definitely be longer than the movie. Sorry. So what do you think? What do we say now? Oh, social media. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at earnfullofpopcorn. That's URNFULLA popcorn. We also have a website. We have a YouTube page. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and our website. That is all. Subscribe. Be a friend. Don't unfriend us.
Don't unfriend us. Definitely don't haunt us. I mean, if we did something bad to you, haunt us. We deserve it. All right? But I don't think, we're pretty good. So, All right. Thank you to Jordan Cooper for writing the theme song. Thank you to Steve Ward from the Maple Leaf State. No, the Maple Leaf Country for doing our logo and stuff. Shandy, thank you to you for wearing the cool hat you're wearing. And this might not be posted as a video since I kept fucking it up. But if it is, you can see our hat. If not, it's a good hat. That's all I got.
Thanks, Timmy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy's daughter, for freaking the fuck out.
Dude, good Lord.